Welcome to Baby's Birthday. Each show joins a mum-to-be and counts down to the birth of their baby, revealing all the drama, laughter and tears involved in giving birth. Because let's be honest, giving birth is never a walk in the park. To help chart each birth, this is the Baby's Birthday clock. It's there to count down to each mum's due date. And once labour kicks off, the clock kicks in and times the birth so you know exactly how long each mum's been in labour, whether it's 2 hours or a whopping 20 hours. All the action of the birth is boiled down into a half-hour show. So, we'd better crack on.
We're off.
Today we meet older mum Allison and her family as she goes into labour. But the birth doesn't go smoothly, and it's not for the faint-hearted.
Allison, do you know what's happening?
I really thought one of them were going to die.
It's something sticking in me.
It's not me.
That's the problem.
That's how we got where we are today.
Allison and Jeff Smith found love second time around and have been together 10 years. Allison has 2 sons from a first marriage, 21-year-old Mark and 19-year-old Darren, and a 9-year-old daughter called Leanne with Jeff. At 45, Allison's no spring chicken, which means giving birth comes with loads more risks and dangers.
A lot of people are worried about me because of my age and everything, and they just want it over, and me and the baby both to be okay. Obviously, my husband is going to be there, and probably my sister, because I need somebody to make me laugh and keep me calm, and hopefully that's what she's going to do, because we just laugh anyway at anything, so that's why she's coming.
Oh, here we go, look. One of both of you. You did well,
He's got to short, Sam. We had to take a photo of him now and again, just in case he got lost. I truthfully didn't expect to have another baby. I thought at my age that I would be menopausal. And then when my period was late, I was a bit shocked, and I thought, this is menopause now. And then just one day I decided, well, I'll just try a pregnancy test and see.
When she brought the pregnancy test round to mine and told me to have a look at it, and I nearly dropped off my kitchen floor because it was the last thing I expected.
And I think I did one every week, really, and they all kept coming back positive. And it was a bit of a shock. But I thought, I'm not going to get past 10 weeks. I was convinced that I wouldn't get past 10 weeks. Now that I've got to 39 weeks, I'm absolutely amazed, really, that I've gone this far. And when it is born, it will be a shock, I think, because you know that it's going to come and things, but it's just unbelievable when it actually happens. And it's like other people just finding out that they're pregnant. You just find out that you've got this baby, and it's a miracle, really.
Has he got tennis balls in his pocket? He always had tennis balls in his pocket when he had his photo shoot.
Why?
I don't know why.
Coming from such a big family, there was 7 children in my family, and I just can't imagine a life without children. When I had Leanne, and I didn't think that I was going to have any more children, I felt really sorry for her that she hadn't got a sister, because I've got so many sisters, and I just couldn't imagine a life without a sister. And I did feel sorry for her on that. To me, I feel as though I'm doing something for her, giving her a sister, because I just can't imagine anybody living without a sister, really.
Allison and her sister Lisa are all geared up for the birth. But we've not heard much from hubby Jeff.
Yes, I ought to be at the birth, but I do work for a security firm, and depending on my shift times and when I'm working, it might be a bit difficult to get there right on time, but hopefully I will be there for the birth.
My husband's a bit too quiet, you see. He's not... I don't know how to describe him, really. His body will be there, but he doesn't actually put things into words. He's not... He's very quiet and reserved, a bit like me.
Oh, you're doing a good job there. You're probably smiling as well.
I'm not looking forward at the birth of Allison probably swearing at the midwife. which happened last time, and probably having a real go at me as well. I'll have to go and put the kettle on.
I've done it.
Oh, have you? That's very good of you.
I don't really want
If I could stay calm, I know that it would be easier. So that's what I'm going to try and do this time. Just try and stay calm and think, you've done it before, you can do it again and it will soon be over with. That's what I'm hoping to do.
During Allison's pregnancy, Jeff's proven himself to be quite the modern man.
Even though I help around the house, I think I've just done a little bit more in every job I do, which is do the housework, make the bed, do anything I can, you know what I mean? I've just improved or done a little bit more to what I normally do. Do you really want a brew?
Well, just make it. If I don't drink it, we can always throw it away.
The pregnancy in the early stages went very well. There was no major problems. But as we've got nearer the time, obviously Allison's had a few problems, morning sickness and things like that. We did have a false alarm. One night we had to go to the hospital. She was checked and everything was all right, but she was having the normal pains, contractions, and we obviously thought that was the time, but it wasn't. And she still seemed to have a good days and bad days, I suppose, as every woman does.
Shut up.
Are you enjoying that lovely cup of coffee I've made for you?
Well, the last one we made with milk, this is made with water. It doesn't quite have the same texture.
Can't afford all that milk.
As Allison is in her mid-40s, there is a much higher risk of there being complications and problems during her labour, and Allison has prepared herself for the possibility that her baby has Down syndrome.
At 20 weeks, I went for a scan, and they did a test where they measured the back of the baby's neck, which the baby's neck was thicker than it should be, and that's when they told me there was a chance of Down syndrome. I'd like a healthy baby, but if it's not healthy, then it's still my baby. So long as it's alive and breathing, that's all that matters.
If Allison was in her 20s, the chances of her baby being Downs would be 1 in 2,000. At 45, the odds are now massively higher. There is a 1 in 30 chance Allison's daughter will be Down syndrome. 2 days later, Allison is just over an hour into labour with Jeff and Lisa by her side.
This is a partogram. It's where we do all your... A partogram. That. And it's all your observations and things in labour and how well you're progressing.
At least that's working. And I think it was round about 8:15 when I got there. And I still weren't convinced. I thought they were going to send me home, but they didn't. And they examined me and said I was 5 centimetres dilated, so I thought, well, I must be in labour then. Hey, if it stays like this, I can cope. Just keep saying it's mind over matter. I'll pretend it's a pea, and I've got past it, or a gallstone.
But there was nothing really happening. She was having contractions and the gas in her was there and she wanted a drink of water and I was handing her water. And Lisa was there supporting everything. And it was going really well.
Sunburn on you are. No, it's the ice I want, love. No, come on. Play fair, that's better. I hope your hands are clean. Right, that'll do. Don't wet bed. You prayed for this, didn't you? You, deafhead, you prayed for this.
Oh, she's on one now.
That I'd go into labour tonight, so you wouldn't have to perform.
That was a plan.
It's always like this, or is this the gas in air?
No, she's always like this, love. Then they showed me the gas and air, which that were special about because I was saving it. She asked me did I want to go and I said no, I'll save it for later. So I still carried on and I think it was about I don't know if it was 9:15 or 10:15 when I started on that. We're off.
Okay. I'm just going to go and cut that last foot head so once you have done with it.
Come on, child, make an appearance. What time did we come in?
8 o'clock-ish, were it?
No, 9:15.
9, 10, 11, 12, 1. It should be about 1:15. I'm not going no longer than 1:15. I'm not breaking with tradition. Jesus, my left hip. Oh. Move down, not up. Oh dear. Oh. Oh. If you squeeze my hand any tighter, it'll bloody fall off. You just hold, and I'll do squeezing, because I'm getting pins and needles.
You don't squeeze it, you just hold it behind.
Because I'm alright at the minute.
Due to Allison's age, there is a higher possibility of complications.
Are you timing these contractions?
As Allison's contractions get stronger, problems start to develop.
Then as the pains got stronger, Allison had more gas in her. And the real next thing I understood, everything was fine. The midwife who'd been out came back in and said that there was a problem.
No, they've gone from 10 breaths of this to 25. Now they're getting stronger. Now what does that say? Does that say the same or does it say different?
She looks like you're having regular pains, but I'm going to just change your position more.
Right.
Just turn the other side. You just stop filming, please.
After just over 3 hours of labour, things are not looking good at all. Jeff and Lisa are having to face the nightmarish reality they could lose either Allison or the baby.
Allison, do you know what's happening?
Coming up, Allison's labour continues.
Did I want the baby to be alive or Allison to be alive?
We're back with 45-year-old Allison, who is 3 hours and 4 minutes into labour. With her are husband Jeff and sister Lisa, and Allison's birth has run into serious complications.
She looks like you're having regular pains, but I'm going to just change your position more.
Right.
Just turn the other side. You just stop filming, please.
This midwife was examining me and all I heard was, your baby's pooed inside you, we've got to get it out, turn the cameras off, and that's all I heard. And as I looked at the monitor, I noticed that the baby's heartbeat had gone down to 78. So I just went into panic mode then. And, well, from there it just went mad, really.
The fact that Allison's baby defecated inside her is an indication it's in distress, and usually means it's being deprived of oxygen. The baby's heartbeat has now dropped dramatically. The baby urgently needs to be born, or else she could die.
Right, can we get that oxygen on her, please?
Get this oxygen on her. It's all right.
Come on, Allison. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Allison, do you know what's happening? Everything just happened all at once and everybody was in that room. And baby's heartbeat, Allison said it, she saw it at 74, something like that. I saw it go right down to below 30 and it was absolutely horrendous. Because I thought, one of them's going to go. I really thought one of them was going to die.
I can remember a lot of shouting and somebody taking that gas and air off me, which were murdered at because I was in real pain then.
I can't describe the fear and the feeling that I had. And I come into it and thought, I can't cry in front of Jeff, because I've got to be strong for him now because he's panicking and worried. In fact, I've never seen Jeff. His emotion on his face and the colour just drained out of him, and Jeff is just Jeff.
When things started to go wrong, obviously, you don't know what to do really. You're there, your mind's going all over. And when they said theatre, she was going to the theatre, I didn't know what to think. I just thought, who's going to be alive at the end of it all, really. That was my main concern, because it was going so well at the time, and then it just, everything changed so rapid.
Go to sleep. I'll do my band damnedest to tell him what you want, but you know, we'll do our best.
Just going to get baby out.
And the one big concern for me was if anybody came to me and asked if there was any complications, what would I have to do? What, you know, would I go say, I want the baby to be alive or Allison be alive? Because I just don't think I could have handled that. I don't.
Yeah. It's just important we get baby out now, Allison, love, honestly. Three.
The hospital have reacted quickly and rushed Allison to theatre. Jeff is with her, but all Sister Lisa can do is wait for news, whether good or bad.
Allison was in so much pain because she wasn't dilating at all. So we whipped her down to theatre for a section. And she kept saying, I want to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep. Anyway, they put her to sleep. Well, they come in and told me that they'd put her to sleep, and the next minute they said that she was awake. And it was just so scary. I mean, you can hear that heartbeat, and it would. And then it just. And I've only ever seen her cry 4 times, if that, and to see her and be so frightened, it were awful. It were really awful because she's so strong.
And then the next thing, I was in stirrups with all the lights shining in front of me, ready for a caesarean. And all I kept asking, will you put me to sleep, will you put me to sleep? And they didn't, because on the way down to this operating theatre, I'd dilated fully and she was coming on her own.
They was telling her to push as much as she could, but she'd had that much gas in her by then, I don't think she could really understand what they were saying. And the next thing I heard that the surgeon had said that the baby had dropped.
The next contraction, they told me I had to push, which normally you wouldn't do. You'd wait until you had a proper pushing pain. And then they connected this thing to her head to actually suck her out. So it was like 2 pushes for her head out, and then the third push, they sucked her out really, and she come out fully. But it was horrible, and I thought I was going to die, or the baby would die.
I literally prayed, I was really praying that they save both of them, they can save both of them.
And I looked at the baby and there was no sound at all the first few seconds. And I kept looking at her and suddenly there was a noise and she started to cry, and that's when all the emotions went, and I just realised that everything was going to be okay. So I turned around to Allison and she was in absolute agony at this time. But I think we finally got her through it, and I'm just so pleased that we did.
Is baby okay?
Baby's okay.
How big?
6'14".
Is that all?
Josie, can you bring Leanne now?
Is she alright?
Feed it right away.
Is Allison alright?
Yeah, I will.
Is Allison okay?
Allison's alright, she's been stitched, that's all.
Right.
Took a bit of fighting,
Right.
but it's done, everything.
And baby's okay?
Yeah. You come in a minute, just...
Wait till Leanne
Yeah,
first.
yeah, that's fine.
I'll let Leanne wait first for that. But the baby's fine, is she?
Yeah.
My leg's shaking a bit and my hands hurting where that's in, but apart from that, I'm alive and that's all that matters.
Is there any chance that I get to hold her?
Oh, if I have to.
Yeah?
Are you alright, lover? Are you going home with your dad?
We're just so glad now that everything did turn out perfect.
After 9 months of waiting for Nicky Lou's dramatic arrival, Allison and Jeff's waiting is not over yet. Tomorrow, they will find out if their daughter has Down syndrome.
You're wide awake now, aren't you? Yeah. The idea is you stay awake now till 10 o'clock tonight. Don't eat the towel. That's a good girl. And then at 10 o'clock you can go to sleep. Although it's your dad's night for having you, so you better not stay awake all night. And be sick all over him. Just like you're every other night. Don't make no exceptions just because it's your dad. Are you listening? After the baby was born, the midwife that had been there from the beginning, she was talking to me and she said about a home birth, that if it had have been a home birth, it would have been a completely different outcome, which I could see that then. She never actually said the word downs to me, but she knew that there was a chance, and she come to me after and she said, I can't say for sure, but the paediatrician will come in the morning and examine her, but from what I can see, she looks all right to me. And that was the only thing that was mentioned at the night. And then at the morning, the doctor, he come really early and he examined her. I didn't care by then. She were alive and that's all that mattered. So I weren't bothered what he said. As long as she were breathing, that's all that mattered. And he examined her and then he just said, she's perfectly fine.
When Nicky Louisa arrived, you're just on top of the world, really. It's my second daughter, obviously, I've been through it once before, but with the complications we had, it was just so wonderful that she'd actually arrived and delivered, and both of them was absolutely fine.
This baby, to me, was meant to be, because Allison had suffered like miscarriages, she lost so many babies. And for her to actually carry this baby full term and be fine, healthy, this baby was meant to be. So, fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Allison's labour lasted 3 hours, 58 minutes and 32 seconds. After all the drama and heartache, Nicky Lou is here and the perfect addition to the family. Today we meet Kirsty, who is having a home birth. And when she goes into labour, she raises the roof.
Even though I'd remembered it really badly, I thought, oh my God, it's even worse.
Kirsty and her Italian husband Antonio met when they were working together in a restaurant, and love blossomed over the spaghetti. They got married in 2003, and the couple also have a 2-year-old son called Alex. And just in case you hadn't noticed, that bump is baby number 2.
We're having a baby girl, hopefully. That's what we've been told, so I really hope so. Not decided on a name yet. We're having a few issues with that at the moment, so I think we're just going to see what she looks like when she's born.
With Alessandro, we already knew it. Probably, I don't know, because it was our first one, and we knew. Now we just don't know. You know, probably it's too many names, and we can't decide.
Kirsty is having a baby at home. Although home births are discouraged because of the possible risks and complications, Kirsty's not fazed and is sure she's made the right decision.
I'm looking forward to seeing if it's easier with your second birth and if having her at home makes any difference. And obviously just looking forward to her being born and being here.
Just can't wait, and gonna be, daddy's girl.
Kirsty was due to give birth 2 days ago, but the baby doesn't seem to want to make an appearance, whereas everyone else would like her to get a move on, especially Mum.
Obviously people just interested to know about the baby, but it gets frustrating when every time you look at your mobile phone you've got, 15 texts. Have you had the baby yet? I think it's worse because things started to happen pain-wise a few weeks ago, and we thought that she'd be either on time or early, but she's not. So she's obviously going to be another awkward one. Just one? Just 2. No, just one. Once you go past your due date, you do start getting fed up because you think, 9 months is long enough and they should be here by now. How many times have we read this? Come on then. I'm nervous this time, more than last time, I think, because when it's your first, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And now it's a case of, I know what's coming.
1 day later and 3 days overdue, the baby is coming, and it's all happening at Kirsty's house. 1 in 5 women who plan a home birth have to go to hospital to have their baby due to complications. So Kirsty's dream birth still may not happen at home, but so far, so good. Midwives Sue and Chris have arrived to deliver Kirsty's baby at home.
I've decided on a home birth mainly because of Alessandro. I didn't want to go into hospital and leave him, and for him to associate the baby as taking me away from him. That was the main reason, but also I just think that I'd be more relaxed. It'd be nice when it's over to get in my own bed and wake up in my own house, and for people to come and visit me at different periods rather than everybody coming at 2 o'clock when it's visiting and feeling really overwhelmed by it all. So
a home birth means the only pain relief available to Kirsty is gas and air. But to be fair, she's making the most of it. While hubby Antonio looks after son Alex, Kirsty's best mate Julie is acting as birthing partner because she's been through it all herself.
Antonio was good the first time with Alex, but I think it was more distressing for him. So if he wasn't there, I don't have to worry about how he was coping with seeing, me in pain. It wasn't so much that I was asking her to do things like rub my back or anything. It was just to know that she was there, and because we were at home, things like making drinks for the midwives and just making me feel like secure. I'm feeling pretty horrible. No, I'm not. It really hurts, but it's not as bad as it could be. The midwives came at 2:30. I think, what time is it? About 7:30.
I think this cat's the reincarnation of a midwife. Were you a midwife?
Kirsty's really going at that gas and air, and who can blame her?
I'm going to have another check in about half an hour to an hour and see if we're dilating anymore. I think there's talk of breaking waters and things, I'm not sure.
What for tea? They always used to say boiled water.
And it's not for anything other than tea.
For the midwives, yeah.
Kirsty's labour pains are getting really intense, and the gas and air is coming in very handy, although Kirsty's getting through the stuff and the midwives have had to pop out for extra supplies.
The midwife's just going to get some more gas in there because this is the last tank, so I'm hoping that we're not going to run out. That's like forefront of my mind at the minute. I always kept saying, oh God, it's awful, and I can remember this, but as soon as the contraction started, I thought, oh my God, it's worse than I remember. It's worse, even though I'd remembered it really badly. I thought, oh my God, it's even worse.
5 hours, 45 minutes and counting.
What are you focusing on when you have a contraction?
Nothing really.
I think they're between 2 and 3 minutes, aren't they?
Sometimes one comes immediately after, and then, like, just then before then there was a gap because of the way it was laid. But they're like, I'll have one and then just a short break and then another one. Sometimes not even 2 minutes, I'm not sure. You lose sense of time though, don't you?
They just take your blood pressure, Kirsty.
I'm alright, still rocking on.
Yeah, which stage you are.
The examinations that the midwife carried out, they didn't faze me because I knew that the midwives were professional. If there was any cause for concern, they wouldn't have let me continue at home.
During a home birth, midwives have to do regular checks. If there are any problems, such as high blood pressure, Kirsty will have to be rushed to hospital so they can offer advanced care to ensure she and her baby are safe.
It's a little bit elevated when we first came. I think you were anxious.
I was a bit, yeah.
I think you thought I was going to say you're not in labour.
I say, because normally my blood pressure's quite low.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it was just at the beginning. And you were worried about your little boy and what was going to happen. And
yeah.
The gas and air might be helping Kirsty, but it doesn't half make a racket. Kirsty's been in labour all night, and hubby Antonio and son Alex are now up waiting for news. The baby doesn't seem far off, but Kirsty's waters still haven't broken. Over to you, Sue.
There's a point where you think the membranes may rupture spontaneously, and that's what we're aiming for, because that's the natural and we're keeping everything normal. And while the membranes are intact, she's coping very well. But there comes a point where the baby's probably imminent to be born, and it may be just the membranes that just need rupturing at that point. So if I think that, then we'll go ahead with it.
Getting the sweat on. The midwives thought when my waters were to be broken that it would be better for the camera to leave the room, just as it's quite an invasive procedure and it can also be quite painful.
And once Kirsty's waters are broken, we're off. Although Kirsty seems to think there's a problem with the gas and air.
Gas and air! You've got it!
No, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath.
After the break, after 6.5 hours of labour, the hard work really begins.
What's the matter?
Gas and air!
We're back with Kirsty, who's having her baby at home. She's been in labour for 6.5 hours. Her husband and son are waiting in the kitchen for news, and the baby's not far off. To relieve the pain, Kirsty's going at the gas and air like there's no tomorrow.
Gas and air! You've got it!
No, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath.
After sucking on gas and air, you start feeling like you're a bit drunk.
Do it now!
But it doesn't half help with the pain.
No!
What's the matter?
Gas and air!
You took it out of your mouth, Kirsty. Kirsty.
It is half a time there, sweetheart.
Sorry.
It's all right. Do you want to take it out?
Listen now, as the baby's ready, just before the baby's ready to be born, you're going to feel very strange. Just keep focusing now on this breathing and just try and tune into my voice. As well as Julie's, because Julie's doing a good job there. But try and listen to what I'm saying. You've come on stronger now with the membranes rupturing. You like to be stronger now, Kirsty? Yeah.
They come stronger and more frequently now.
Are we having baby on your tummy? Alright. Just leave me alone now, Sue.
When I was using the gas and air, it made me feel very spaced out, and I was sort of aware of other people but not really conscious of what was going on. I was in a self-contained little bubble, really.
Do you feel like you want to push with any of them yet?
The only problem with gas and air is that Kirsty may get too spaced out when she needs to push. If she pushes at the wrong time, she may do herself some damage. So the time has come to cut back a bit on the canisters.
I'm ready. I'm really ready. I'm ready.
Okay, when your body tells you to push, it's important that you go with it.
I'm doing it.
Excellent.
Well, when you get an urge to push now, when you feel like you do,
Yeah.
keep it a nice, long, steady one. Keep it like the traction
Try and do it
almost.
for 10. Yeah.
And then a nice breath in, and then it'll come again, and then you'll hear me voice in little pushes. Okay, so I'm nice, gentle delivery.
Are we nearly there?
I would say so now, yeah.
Okay, we'll put her straight on your tummy so you can get the skin-to-skin contact, yeah?
This reminds me of how women had babies years ago in front of the fire.
Have you got to name this baby?
Isabella.
Isabella. That's nice.
Week before we'd had her, we'd still not decided. And then about 3 days before, I said I still really, really like Isabella, and Antonio did as well. So we told Alex that the baby was called Isabella, but we were going to keep it a surprise until, you know, for everybody else, until she was born. There's no real significance to the name apart from the fact we both like it. It's also an Italian name. You know, we couldn't have Alessandro and Sarah. It just doesn't sound right.
and everyone's getting ready for those last few pushes. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
This leg's a bit precarious here, isn't it? It's all right, I'll come round it, it's all right.
Just put that there, put baby on your tummy.
Try and bend your legs up and out. It just expands your pelvis. There's a bit more room for this baby's head to hit that pelvic floor and come round. And you're absolutely perfect now.
When they broke my waters, it makes the contractions more intense because your waters are cushioning the baby's head against the cervix. So when there's no water there, it's impact. I had this one feeling, and I think the midwife had said she'd come down a bend or something, I don't know, that really, really hurt. And I think that's the only time I actually did make quite a big noise.
Kirsty,
put your
listen
lips
now,
together.
lips together.
And push in your bum. Bite your bum.
If
Bite your bum.
If you've got that pushing contraction
Can you just put
now.
that's the girl. Put your arms.
Good girl. Go on, we can see the baby's head
Like
now.
toilet pushing, as though you're having a big poo.
You can do it, you can do it.
Baby's coming now. She's coming.
So the text visible.
Even though I'd remembered it as being painful, when they started, I thought, oh my God, I didn't. Now it's coming back to me, and you know, as soon as they start, you know, oh God, I thought it was bad, but it's worse.
Absolutely fine. She's got really well with this, hasn't she?
When it comes back now, you're quite strong.
Yeah.
But no
Nice
screaming.
breath.
Lips together.
Use all your energy now. You've got that. And just a nice long push. Listen to what I'm saying now. Just keep that push coming. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely.
Good girl.
Well done. Come on, your baby's head's coming out now. Take a breath in. Breath in.
There's the head, baby Isabella's first appearance. Just 2 arms, 2 legs and a body to go.
Well done.
Good girl. That is beautiful.
Absolutely brilliant.
Now just a nice normal breath now.
Just breathe easy. Good girl. Hello, Isabella.
Focus now on your next one and we'll have your baby.
Do you want to feel?
When the midwife said, the baby's head's there, do you want to touch it? I did, because I didn't do it with Alex. It was really bizarre to think that I was actually touching my daughter's head whilst her body was still inside and I'd still not actually finished the job. But it just gave me a nice incentive to get the body out and to finish it off, really.
Next one, listen to Sue.
Okay.
All right, when you're ready, tell me when. Yeah?
Go for it.
Okay.
Good girl.
Good girl. Good girl. Keep it coming.
Keep it going.
Keep it coming. Good
And
girl.
again. Go on.
Come on. Good girl.
Baby bunting.
Come on. Good girl. Come on.
Come on.
Look at your baby now. Look at your baby.
It's finally here, after 6 hours, 54 minutes and 2 seconds of labour.
Get Antonio. When she was placed on my stomach, obviously, that's the feeling when you just feel that intense love straight away. There's just no doubt about it. I was always saying, oh, I don't know if I could ever love anybody as much as I love Alex, and does your love divide between them? And I think it might have been Julie that said, no, your love just doubles for both, you know, you've got abundance of it. Is it a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, baby girl.
She's got chunky
Is she?
Yeah. Thighs like the midwife.
Oh, beautiful.
Tied up.
She's just like Alex.
Yeah.
She looks exactly like Alex.
Oh, you're all caught up.
Oh. Hello, Izzy.
Done, baby.
Okay, baby girl. Alex, it's your baby sister. She's here now.
Oh. And you're a little individual person now. You're separated from mummy.
Come on, my girl. Let's just get you out of this wet.
We've got this nice dry towel for
I'm going to
you.
put her next to you.
No, it's just I need to do with another pillow. Has she been cut now?
Yeah.
Come here, have you moved your elbow?
Just put her back there to keep her warm. Do you want to lift? Are you going to breastfeed her?
Yeah.
Right. Do you want to lift your legs up then?
I tried to breastfeed her, but I was sort of laying in a really awkward position, and she wasn't ready at that point, so I just left it. But I'd heard that if you put them to the breast within the first hour, it's easier because Alex struggled latching on. It took me a couple of days, but within the hour she was having a feed and she was fine anyway. You are a gorgeous little girl. You are so sweet. You have given me a nightmare time. When Isabella was born, it was obviously just complete elation that she was okay, that she was finally here. It was so lovely that my husband and my son came in and Alex got to see her immediately, even though he was a bit unsure because she was quite purpley when she was born. She was a bit, tired, and I think until she was dressed and a bit cleaner, he didn't really feel like he wanted to, handle her or anything. But it was just so nice just to be there with my son and with my husband and just my best friend. And, it was, everybody will say the same thing. It's like the best feeling in the world, and it is.
Ooh, I can't see it.
She's only peeped at us. She hasn't opened her eyes fully yet. They will be blue, yes, they're all blue. Shall we see? Does she look like you, Alex? That's a good boy. There's your good.
You give me cuddle. Right.
That was very good. That's the baby.
That's your baby
That's the baby sister.
It's because it's crying.
Yeah.
You had that when you were born. You had white.
I don't like that one.
Yes, well, it will come off. In 2 days, this will be all gone.
It was really nice to hold the baby for the first time because it's just the culmination of everything that you've been through the past 9 months. Especially, I'd had a difficult pregnancy and I was tired, and at times I'd sit and cry and think, is it all worth it? And I've had enough. And then when she's there and you can see her and you actually do think, it has been a horrible 9 months, but it's finished now. And look, I've got a really beautiful little girl, and Alex was made up with her, and Antonio was really happy, and it was just like completes the family now. That's all I can say, really. It's just complete.
After a labour lasting almost 7 hours, baby Isabella is safe, well, and settled into the family home she was born in, with mum, dad, and big brother.
Oh my God, I'm going to have pain today.
Today we meet 37-year-old Michelle. After receiving IVF treatment, she's expecting her first child. It's the miracle she's been longing for, and her emotional and painful journey is just beginning.
I can't stand this pain, man. It's horrendous.
Right, yeah, there you are. Look, lazy again, sitting watching blooming Quincy. Hey, it's all you ever do, you. Look.
Oh, hello! Caught me on.
Yeah, look.
Receptionist Michelle Halsey has been married to 44-year-old football referee Mark for 4 years. They met when Mark was officiating a Bolton Wanderers versus Tranmere Rovers game, and Michelle was working in the players' bar.
And I went out and gave him his cup of tea, and he said to me, "Where's my biscuit? Have you not got any biscuits, darling?" And I thought, oh my God, he's a Cockney. Oh.
And I understand she went all shivery when she saw me come through the door.
And in the end, I ended up giving in and having a drink, and that was it. Love at first sight.
Mark already has 2 grown-up sons from a previous marriage, and at the age of 24 he had the snip, leaving a tricky conversation to have with Michelle.
He didn't tell me straight away that he couldn't, and then he rang me and said he needed to speak to me, and he told me that he'd had a vasectomy done 19 years previous.
The chance of us having children are a sort of zilch, so I gave her the option that, if she wanted to walk away, walk away.
It was a case of, well, I might not be able to have any, so why give somebody up that love just for the sake of not knowing if he could give me a baby.
I did try the reversal, but it didn't work.
It was quite upsetting. And then we got referred to a specialist in Manchester.
So then they came up with the idea about having, it's called a peasy, where they sort of do the same sort of thing, but they get the sperm from where it begins.
With Mark's sperm alive and well but frozen, the only way to impregnate Michelle is through IVF treatment.
The hardest part of the treatment is the way you have to change your life for them first few weeks. Wherever you go, you've got to make sure you've got your needles, your solutions.
I couldn't stick that needle in her, no way. But I mean, she done it herself, and you know, she's been quite brave, really.
Even after extensive IVF treatment, there is only a 15% chance of success.
It's so tiring, it's emotional, and then to get nothing at the end of it. When you start your period, that is the worst day of your life.
Obviously, Michelle, this is the first time she's had a chance of having any children. When she found out it didn't work, it was a very emotional time.
And then you've got to tell people it hasn't worked, and you've got to face going back into work. So the second time we kept it quiet from everybody.
Luckily for us, it worked, because I remember I was away with the referees on a training camp in July, and she phoned me up and said, "Oh, I've done a pregnancy test."
I got the pregnancy stick and I'm tapping it on the phone going, listen, I've done it.
And I just said, "Oh, I don't believe this." I went, "Oh, no, you're not, are you?"
Now 4 days overdue, and with their new arrival imminent, Michelle and Mark focus on the important aspects of the birth.
What's your biggest fear, Mark, while I'm in labour?
Well, how shall I say it? Pooing yourself.
And what are you going to do if I do?
I'm going. So I know what she's
True
like.
love.
Yeah, I mean, to me, she's gorgeous anyway, but through the pregnancy, she seems to get better and better. Just except the size, obviously, the size of her, but I mean, her actual, in herself, she just looks fantastic, and she looks better than ever. Are you sure that's all baby there?
This baby means everything to us. We're a close couple. Everything we do together, near enough. And it'll just make our family complete.
Now 12 days overdue, Michelle arrives at the hospital to be induced.
But when the day actually came, we couldn't believe it. Was like Christmas Day, for me anyway. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have pain today. That is when my nerves kicked in.
Boring, isn't it? I'm having an afternoon nap now.
The good news is she started to dilate on her own. Already 2 fingers width, it's just a case of waiting for a bed in the delivery suite.
Oh, I've been waiting for you all morning and now you're here. I don't want
I'm bloody nervous.
After a 6-hour wait, Michelle finally heads down to the delivery suite, and the fun begins.
Sit over here, love. I'll get out your way. I'll sit here and relax.
Put your feet up.
Put your feet
Don't
up.
tell him that I'll be sleeping a bit.
I will and all.
We'll wake you up when the baby arrives then, eh? I'm just going to perform a vaginal examination just to assess if there's any change from earlier this morning. And then break the waters, and that's just a form of sort of inducing Michelle and getting the contractions going, hopefully. But we'll see.
Finally went down to the delivery suite of where there was breaking me waters. It's like a sharp nick. You feel it, but you don't feel it.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. I've just got it now.
But when the water gushed out, I was so shocked because I expected it to be cold. And it was like hot water. And it was as though you was weeing the bed in your sleep and you're thinking to yourself, I shouldn't be doing this.
But there's something else Michelle wasn't expecting.
Right, it's what we call meconium, so they're a brownie colour, okay? That means that babies have a poo inside of you. Because you're overdue by 12 days, it's not uncommon for that to happen when you're overdue. But it sometimes can be a sign of distress as well, so I'm just going to have to put you on the monitor.
When they broke me waters, the nurse explained that the baby had had a poo inside me, and I thought to myself, oh God, this is dangerous for the baby. They explained that they'd put the drip in to speed the contractions up so that the baby could come out a lot quicker.
Oh.
Michelle's mum's here, right?
We had decided beforehand that my mum and Mark would be present. Mark doesn't know what to do with himself and he hates hospitals. In situations like that, I think a girl needs a mum.
The baby's had a poo inside.
It took a bit of pressure off of me. A mum could take over, and girls are like with their mums; they're very close to them.
And it's just as well mum's here, as Michelle experiences her first contraction.
At the end of the day, it's going to be painful, but you're going to have a nice outcome at the end of it. How do you normally do when you've got pain? What do you normally do at home? Cry. We're not having any tears.
My first contraction was like a bad period pain, and I thought to myself, well, if this is it, I can handle this.
Does it feel so weird? Because when
I ended up on my left side for most of them, because that's the most comfiest position I found that I could do. But then I was also watching the monitor to make sure that was that a contraction. When I saw the lines going up and down, I thought, oh my God, yes, I've got it right, it was one. And then they started to come a bit faster and a bit faster, and then the pain really hit in.
Don't cry. Oh, come on. Come on. Shall I get you try some gas?
The midwife said to me, don't be a martyr, if you need the gas and air, do it. So I waited for about 4 or 5 contractions and then it started to niddle me a little bit. But once you give it me, that was it. There was no getting it off me.
After sucking on gas and air, you start feeling like you're a bit drunk, but it does not help with the pain.
Oh, wait.
We're gonna need me fixed.
With the pain getting stronger, the midwife discusses options of pain relief with Mark and Michelle's mum.
Shelley, you know when we were talking the other day about your epidural or your painkiller, do you want to try painkiller first?
Anything to get some pain. Alright, well nothing's going to completely take it away, Michelle, alright.
But at least you'll be with Sarah when she's telling you what to do, where an epidural you might not be.
To take the edge off the pain, Michelle's decided to try some diamorphine. But as the midwife prepares the injection, Michelle changes her mind.
I want an epidural.
No,
I do.
I want an epidural. She's getting some painkillers. She's going to get some painkillers, darling.
She wants to get pain relief.
She's going to get you the painkillers.
Even an epidural won't stop.
It won't. She said, darling.
It will. I can't stand this pain, like it's horrendous.
Go in your bottom this injection, Michelle, alright?
With Sarah just about to inject the diamorphine, Michelle feels the need to push.
Oh, I'm push then. Oh, I'm not going to push.
Listen to it.
Coming up, will Michelle get the epidural she wants?
Don't scream.
No.
Welcome back to Baby's Birthday. 37-year-old Michelle is in labour with her first child, and we left her screaming for an epidural. However, the midwife has some good and some disappointing news for her.
About 8 centimetres. Alright, so you're nearly there, but you can still have your diamorphine. Alright, plenty of time to give you that. It's too late for all that now.
I was asking for an epidural because that's when my bottle went then, because the pains was getting so bad. I thought I couldn't do this anymore. I was looking for an easy way out.
I wasn't happy with her having something like that because that's not sort of natural, is it? But when they'd said that she'd gone past that stage, it was too late. I was quite relieved. I thought, oh yes, great.
Just don't get yourself worked up. That's when it comes harder. Just relax.
I'll tell you what, oh my heart pumping in there, I tell you.
With Michelle nearly dilated, Mark heads off to update Michelle's father and niece. Oh, and take a rest.
Oh, stretch my legs for a minute.
Hey, you might as well have checking that.
Oh, she's been screaming, she's been swearing.
No, yeah, she can't stand the pain.
However, as if she sensed her husband was taking a quick break, Michelle reminds Mark just what she's going through.
Most of the way through the labour, I did have hold of my mum's hand, of which I knew that, yeah, give it a squeeze, but not too hard. But then when Mark come on the scene, I thought, you're going to pay for this. And sometimes when he kept saying, come on, it's all right, it's easy, he got the biggest squeeze ever and I dug my nails in.
When she was squeezing so tight, it killed me. I didn't realise she had so much strength, but it did hurt. I can see now when people say, don't let them get hold of your wrist or your fingers because it does hurt. Well, I've got a few cuts and bruises on my fingers.
After 4 hours, Michelle is fully dilated and the baby is ready to come out. It's just a case of pushing. Here we go.
Push.
Yeah, go on.
When the midwife had said that I was fully dilated, I thought, this is it now. We've had the pains. It's going to get worse, but at least I'm 3/4 of the way through. When I had to start pushing, I did it a couple of times and then realised that I was pushing but nothing. I couldn't feel anything bearing down.
As midwife Sarah's shift ends, she tries to update the new midwife Virginia, although Michelle has other ideas.
So she came to the ward today. She's turned +12. She came in for induction. Whether this is the head. It was below the spine, well below. Go on, Michelle. Doesn't want to come, does it? Doesn't want to come.
That's right, Mum. Unfortunately, the baby doesn't want to come. So midwife Virginia suggests a change of position to get the baby moving. I think the medical term is squatting. This also gives Mark an unexpected new role.
Move yourself, just give yourself a pull and get them legs moving.
I don't know if I can say it on camera, but I mean, the smell that was coming up from down below was awful, absolutely awful.
Get yourself right down. Right, take your weight. Oh, I'm coming. Right, go on now, really push down to that bottom for me.
It may not smell of lavender and roses, but there has been some movement from the baby. It's just not necessarily the right movement.
Something wasn't right. The midwife realised that the baby had moved. I think I remember him saying it had gone back to back with me, but the head had moved from the down position to across.
And ideally when the baby is fitting into the pelvis, we should be able to feel the posterior fontanelle, which means that the baby's got its chin tucked to its chest, so it's in an ideal position. But at the moment, Michelle's baby is lying with its back towards hers.
With the baby's head to one side, Michelle returns to the bed and comfortably into stirrups to allow the doctor to get, well, her hands in.
The doctor had to move the baby physically with a hand on every contraction. A few of the times I screamed, of which I got in trouble for.
Don't scream.
No.
But I have never, ever felt excruciating pain like I had then.
Oh, not yours.
Even though the pain's excruciating, the doctor's handiwork seems to have done the trick. And in no time, the baby's head starts to appear, much to Michelle's bemusement.
The baby's head appeared, and all I could hear him saying was, oh, it's got hair, it's got hair. And then on the next contraction I pushed and its head was sticking out.
Shan't pop its head out.
I did have a peek at the baby's head. It was emotional, really.
Go on.
And all I remember the midwife is saying, give me a hand and feel. And it was just like a wet, hairy rat. Oh, and I put my hand on it and it was a case of, what is it?
Go on.
Go on.
It's not ready yet.
Small push, just give me a small push. I know you can get a pinch. You're doing great.
You're doing great. The baby's almost there now.
Come on.
Come on.
Another push.
And then on the next push, I think I pushed the baby's face out. It was weird, you've got this little head sticking out of you, which is causing an horrendous stinging pain. But then you get shoulders and a body that's coming out of you. And you don't feel it?
After 6 hours and 50 minutes, Michelle gives birth to a baby girl called Lucy Mia.
Little flat nose.
The top red one on the
This one?
that one, yeah. That's it, lovely. Brilliant. She's not being sick.
With Michelle's hard work over, it's time for Mark to step up to the role of official cord cutter.
I couldn't cut it first. I said, oh, cut on it, you know, really cut on it tight. So once it's cut, you think, oh, you know, it's this. That's just a great feeling. Let's go and tell Grandad. Huh? Cool.
And no sooner has he finished one job, it's time for Mark to tell the good news to his father-in-law and niece, and unexpectedly on the way, Michelle's sister.
Little girl.
Is it? Is everything all right?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Congratulations. Can I go down? Can I go down? Where is she?
No, I'm feeling a bit emotional, I think. Granddaughter. Another granddaughter.
Faces, mate.
Right.
Told you, didn't it?
Yeah. This is 2011, yeah. Juicy Lucy, eh?
Look at Dad.
When you hear him cry for the first time, you think, wow, it's perfect, everything's right. And then she puts her onto you. It's, I don't know, everything that's in your mind goes out of your mind and you just focus on that one thing. It's lovely, lovely.
Weighing in at £8.7, Lucy Mia slips into a little pink number so she can look her best for her granddad.
Beautiful, aren't you, Cole?
Her eyes wide open, like she
Look at the camera, darling. Oh, good. Look at you. She's gorgeous.
worth every penny now, man.
Oh, yeah.
Lucy Mia is now a week old, and for her mum, the novelty hasn't worn off.
Well, look at the size of me and my car. So tiny. And we've got loads and loads and loads of clothes. You're just spoiled, aren't you? You've got so many clothes and not enough bodies to put them on, aren't you, Dave? The feelings now being a mum are just, wow, can't believe it. I mean, me and her dad sit here at night and we just keep looking at her, even during the day, and we can't believe what we've made. She's absolutely gorgeous. I know everybody says that theirs gorgeous, but she's just perfect in every way.
As you get older, you realise the mistakes you made, and now I've got another chance to bear a daughter and love her as much as I did my other two, and make sure that, you know, she gets a good start in life.
I mean, we've got a picture of me when I was a baby and a picture of Mark, and I thought she looked like me until I received the picture of Mark today, and she's a spitting image of her dad. She didn't come as easy as what most babies come. Lucy was an IVF baby, and when I look back now, you think that, oh, what you go through. But when you see what you get at the end of it, it's well worth it. I
don't think there's a better feeling in the world. She's fantastic, she's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and I treasure her for the rest of my days.
Got a fantastic baby, a fantastic husband, perfect family. What more could I ask for?
If they wanted to, Michelle and Mark have enough frozen sperm to try for another baby. Whether it would work is an emotional and expensive journey they would have to take. For now, Lucy Mia is all they can think about, and they jump straight into the joys of parenthood.
And that's it, bin it, and then one down the middle bit and bin it.
I do the other way, I don't do it your way, I do it my way.
No, because it will dry.
Just leave me alone.
No, but that's how you get dry cotton wool on her. I'll give you 10 out of 10 because there was nothing in it.
There you go, sweetheart.
Hey!
Pretty good again.
Well done.
She was 12 days late, but Lucy Mia finally arrived and has now made Mark and Michelle's life complete.
Hold in there, good breath. Oh.
This time we join teenager Sophie and her family as she has her baby. But Sophie's plans of a dream birth are not to be.
Come on, I've 3 ringlets here now. Go on, let's have another curl.
Meet teenagers Sophie Spivey and her boyfriend James. Unlike your average 17-year-olds, it's not just driving tests and A-level exams that are on their minds. The young couple are having a baby together, although the pregnancy wasn't planned. At Bolton Sixth Form College, James and Sophie continue their studies despite having a baby.
When we first found out, it was a big surprise and a shock. I think I was crying for a few days. Now that I've got used to being pregnant, I'm excited. I want to see the best for my child, to see it grow up and have a good education. That's why I'm not giving up university. So I don't want people to think I've had a baby to get out of working. As soon as I've had the baby, I'm having 3 weeks off if everything's gone okay in the labour. Then I'm going to go back to college.
At just 17, the couple seem clear on their future and have their whole life mapped out. Well, almost.
We're both planning to go to Bolton University when we leave. But
September, aren't we?
yeah, it's gonna be hard with getting it. We both want to be successful, so I want to be an accountant, and a good one as well, and a lot of money. So,
I want to be a barrister. I want to move down to London, but not decided on that
that's not
yet.
open for discussion yet as well.
The whole family has been incredibly supportive, and James's dad has invited them both to live with him. But Sophie's dad wasn't so pleased when he first heard the news his little girl was pregnant.
To be honest, my reaction when I first found out about Sophie and James having a baby was quite a muted reaction because, well, for a start, Sophie told me by text while I was at work, which was such a, and of course, because she's so young, Sophie, at first I felt, oh no, she's making the same mistakes that I've made and she's messing her life up and she's got college and, and she's going to do a degree. And then, but then after a while, well, fairly quickly actually, I started to see that Sophie was, if anything, she was throwing herself into the college and she was really focused, being really mature about it. And James is the best son-in-law you could wish for. So that really quickly dissipated and became so happy for her really and really proud of her, so it's a great thing.
The couple are really excited about becoming parents, but with the due date been and gone, there's still no sign of the baby. When the little one does want to meet the world, Sophie's adamant she will have a natural birth and not rely on drugs to ease the pain.
Really looking forward to the birth. Sophie's made a birth plan and she's really exact to what she wants. I will have this, I won't have that.
I've put that I just want, on my birth plan, I just want to have gas and air. And that under no circumstances I put on that I don't want an epidural because I don't want a cesarean because I've no stretch marks and I don't want it obviously to ruin my stomach. And I want to experience labour as well because I've done all the classes and stuff.
Yeah, you feel well good without experiencing it, that's it.
I want to see what all the hype is about, what people say.
Yeah.
The nursery is newly decorated and everything is ready. Everything that is apart from the baby. It's 8 days past the due date and still no sign of it putting in an appearance. Sophie and James visit the hospital for a checkup and to discuss if and when labour will be induced.
Right, my name's Denise, I'm one of the midwives here, alright. You're overdue now, about 8 days?
8 days, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, not that's nervous. I'm not going to do anything nasty. Right, now what I'm going to do now is just examine you, just make sure everything's okay, and then we'll talk about induction, okay?
I've been told the pain's a lot stronger and it stresses the baby because it's been set off. Not naturally, obviously, and they wanted to induce me on the Wednesday, which was, I'd be 13 days over. And I said no. And then they said, right, well, 15 days we'll have to do you, but I still didn't want to be done on 15 days. I think they were patronising me because I was young, like trying to persuade me.
Right, so one of my concerns is that the baby isn't moving that much, okay, and so we'll monitor that with I'll give you a chart to count the movements and by coming to the antenatal day unit for monitoring. The other little concern I've got is that you're quite small and the baby's a decent size, Right. Okay. And like you say, the baby's getting bigger every day. Okay.
Despite the risks and the midwife's genuine concerns, Sophie is determined that she wants to go into labour naturally. But will Sophie's choice be the right one?
I'd rather not be induced because I've been told it takes you into the last stages of labour, so your body don't build up and get ready for the pain. So then I think all my plans will get thrown out the window and I'll end up having pain relief and stuff.
The waiting seems to have paid off, as 14 days overdue and just hours before she's due to be induced, Sophie's waters finally break.
Tell me in a minute when the gas is worn off. Just close your eyes for a minute, that's brilliant. Just close your eyes for a minute.
When my water's gone, me and James couldn't stop laughing. It was really funny. The water just wouldn't stop gushing. Then I had to sit on a towel and just sit on the bed and let it come out. And then as soon as you get changed, it just pops again, doesn't it?
Yeah, but wriggle up here a little bit. No, never mind. Stay as you are. Stay as you are. Alright. And just come on to your...
It's not long before Sophie starts reconsidering her birthing options. Bring out the drugs.
Okay, Sophie came in a couple of hours ago at 3 centimetres dilated. She's started on the gas and air because she's having some pain, and we think the baby's back to back and she's having quite a lot more pain. So we're talking about having an epidural. So that's where we're at the minute.
What I'd written on my birth plan was that I didn't want an epidural. I didn't want any pain relief other than gas and air, but when I got in the labour, it was totally different. I ended up having the epidural, but I'd been told that the epidural distresses the baby and it affects its breathing. When I asked the anaesthetist, he said that's not true at all. It's that it more affects the mother, really. That you can have numbness in your legs afterwards and things like that, but I didn't have any of that. So really, I'd had a lot of wrong information, really. So I probably would have made them decisions in my birth plan.
I'm going. Open more the stood in the front sheet.
Let's go.
Just everything that's going on. Put your feet up on here.
Put your feet up there, hold the pillow. Okay, rest here, okay, right. I tell you the position which you would like.
But it's not only Sophie feeling the pressure.
I suppose it was horrible. There's nothing I could do about it. I was relieved when she had that first bit of gas in her. Like, I could see the bit of the main bit of the pain went then, but she could still feel bits. When she had the epidural, it was just plain sailing then, and I was relieved she wasn't feeling no pain.
Okay, hang on here.
Yeah, gas on it.
Use the gas. I'm hanging on here for a while, yeah.
Sophie, you want to use this? You can use it, okay.
An epidural is an injection of local anaesthetic and pain-killing drugs into the spine. It often gives complete pain relief to the mother, yet despite this, having an epidural is by no means an easy option. Women who have an epidural are 3 times more likely to need assistance to help deliver the baby. And as Sophie's expecting her first baby, choosing an epidural will cut her chances of having a normal delivery in half.
Good, you're doing very well, I tell you. You're doing very well. 10 out of 10 marks for you, okay?
To have the epidural was really uncomfortable because I was in agony and it took about 20 minutes to actually give me the epidural, and I'm sat in bed in agony.
Are you alright, love?
And they were like fussing about with like all the medical stuff they had to do. I remember him injecting it, and I was really shivery then, from then on. Good shake. After I had the epidural, the pain went away after about 10 minutes, I'd say. After that, I had no pain at all.
Fine, yeah. Come up. Here.
With the pain gone, so is Sophie's dream of a drug-free birth. After the break, will James make it through Sophie's labour? And meet Rona, the midwife you don't want to mess with.
Come on, I've 3 ringlets here now. Go on, let's have another curl.
We're back with 17-year-old couple James and Sophie with their high ideals of having a drug-free birth. But 3 hours into the labour, reality bites, and an epidural is needed when Sophie can't cope with the painful contractions.
Well, she was like this, but it's still be contracting.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You're doing very well, I tell you. You're doing very well.
So with the pain controlled, Sophie can now concentrate on having her baby. And there's a long way to go yet.
Picked up.
You could feel everything, but you just weren't having pain. You could still feel your stomach contracting, and you knew when you had to push and things like that. But just no pain. Yeah. That's why I said I didn't want the epidural at first as well. But when I was in there, I still had control of everything. I was probably in more control of the epidural because I was in pain before and I wouldn't have been able to control the pushing. I would have had it earlier on if I was allowed the epidural, yeah. But you can't predict how it's going to be next time because it might not be as well, the epidural. Sometimes it doesn't work fully like it did for me. I was just lucky.
Push hard. Come on,
Really push hard, Sophie. Really
Push hard.
Go on, you're doing really well. You're doing fantastic.
Good girl. Just numbing your bum.
Right. Take a breath.
Good lass. Come on, it's slow.
With the average labour for first-time mums lasting up to 12 to 14 hours, it's rare for a midwife to remain on duty throughout. The change in shift brings Rona, and she doesn't take prisoners.
Yeah, no, you're working hard.
Well, when I took over, she was just had an epidural, so she was really quite calm. And she stayed like that all the way through. And for such a young girl, she was really, really good.
After the midwife had shown me what to do, after the first few pushes, then I sort of took over and I knew what I was doing, because it was just the same routine, really, every time a contraction come. So I'd say, right, I need to push now, and then we'd all get into the routine of pushing. And usually it was like 3 pushes, but I could feel that I could get another push, and then sometimes I was relying on the midwife, other times I knew. But I was relying on her to make sure everyone was in their position of what to do, yeah.
Hold him there, take a good breath, fill your lungs. Quickly, come on, push him as far up again. Come on.
And it wasn't just Sophie that Rona whipped into shape.
A little bit. Come on, sweetheart, keep pushing, keep pushing. Come on, push.
Midwife was quite bossy, but I think that's what we needed. We didn't want someone who was like, I needed someone to take control anyway. And she was brilliant. I think she's dealt with the birth before and she knows what to do and how to act. And she did really well. She wanted Sophie to get angry as well, so she could obviously push hard as well. Yeah, she was brilliant. 10 out of 10 for her.
Beautiful. He's coming, now you're going in hard. Good. Take a breath, sweetheart. And again. Come on.
Really well.
Come on.
Because she got an epidural in as well, there was no sensation, a very little, just perhaps a bit of pressure that she was feeling. So even though I was saying, come on, Sophie, give me another curl, I can see a wrinklet now, you know, she was oblivious to how good she was going.
Midwife Rona has a catchphrase to spur women through their labour. Let's have another curl.
Go on, let's have another curl. Come on. Come on, sweetheart. Really push hard, harder. Harder, harder than that. Again.
My mum and James were both my birthing partners. I think it was hard for both of them because they didn't like seeing me in pain, really. But they both really pulled together and did everything Rona was saying.
I was there to keep her comfy, I suppose, in the atmosphere, but whether I did a good job or not is all she can say.
I think James took to it a bit worse because he was making me laugh because he weren't doing everything properly. I had to keep saying, like, grab hold of my leg properly.
Said it was like being at a play. I was in the play but having no part and just stood there with everyone looking at me, expecting me to do things. So.
Just get your arm right back of her head.
He's quite lazy, to be honest.
Come on, another half inch before you start. Yeah, let's have another curl.
There it is again. Let's have another curl. How many's that?
It didn't hurt pushing at all. She'd just say, took the odd time and the pushing, you're supposed to push into your bum, and I kept pushing. I'd push into my stomach and I knew I was doing it wrong. But once you start, you can't, until you finish the push, you can't change the push. Like.
Bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, and more. Come on, we're so close now.
When his head, Liam's head actually come out, I remember my mum and James both looking at his head. So, and I didn't want him to look because I hadn't seen what he looked like, and I didn't think it was fair while I was still pushing. I wanted to be the first to see him.
Yeah, when me and Sophie's mum went to have a look at the baby, I was told off Sophie because she wanted to be the first one to look at it, the baby.
Stop looking at everyone, I want to see him first. So I only knew he only had a few contractions then to get him out, and I could see him. But they only had one more contraction, and he just shot out like a rocket, didn't he? He just flew straight out.
Come on. Just his actions.
Yeah.
See?
Oh.
Hello. Well. Well done. Will you do? They're doing after him back.
I was really, really amazed, honestly. I couldn't imagine it. When I first stood there, that's why I had to put my head in a different place, because when I first stood there I thought, no way baby's going to be there in a minute screaming, you know. But the weirdest thing of the lot was cutting the cord. It was more like a hacking through the cord. Yeah, I'd put my head somewhere else with that as well. Yeah.
A bit like cutting lips. No, we'll get it. Alright, no, alright, we'll get it. No, don't get it. We're going. We're not sure. We'll take it. No.
When I realised that his whole body was out, it was more like, I'm going to see him, rather than relief that he's out, because I weren't in any pain or anything like that. And then when she put him on me, and I seen what he looked like, it was like, started like my eyes filling up, and I think James's did, and well, everyone stayed really, didn't it? I was just looking at him to see who he looked like. I think he looks like James.
Well, everyone's different. I've been doing it 36 years and every baby is different, every mum is different. And it's that look that the mums get on the face when they see this little creature that they've made for 9 months. And it's like, oh, you know, total amazement. They're filling up.
I don't think anything will ever beat the experience when you actually see the baby for the first time.
2, 3, 4, 5 kilos. And in English, £7.6.
After 9.5 long months, it suddenly hits James. He's a dad.
No, it was straight away, like I said, that first breath was everything to me. I was a dad. I realised what we'd done, what Sophie had just done. Yeah, that first breath that he took, that's when it all came to me. I was a dad.
After 10 hours and 7 minutes of hard labour, Sophie deserves a well-earned rest. With baby Liam home, the young couple of finding parenthood is showering them with new rewards.
It shoots right out, doesn't it? If you don't put the nappy back on, it shoots right out.
And then like, I just seen it all flooding everywhere. I didn't actually see it coming out.
It goes all over the clothes, you can't stop it, can you? It just sinks in.
When you took the nappy off, you just turn to the side, I have to put it down and I thought, what? Look back, no.
At first, when I found out I was pregnant, we were shocked, weren't we? Because I didn't think our family would take to it. But I think all the planning has helped, really. We hadn't planned about what I was doing at college and university.
My expectations were a lot worse. You know, people tell you, oh, you're never going to sleep and all this, it's all hard.
They're still saying it now, aren't they? When you go to the shop and stuff, they'll say, oh, it'll never be the same and all that. But
we've been out, we've been for meals. Not as much as we're doing normally, and we still get looked after.
I think it's sometimes the dads don't take to it, do they, as much as the mums. But we're just helping each other out. What's he doing?
You got wind, Sophie. You got.
Was it?
Yeah, when he starts smiling like that, it's not a good thing.
We took it in turns every night to get up. And he changes nappies as well. He's not bothered.
Do everything.
From the start of labour to the birth of baby Liam, labour lasted 10 hours, 7 minutes, and now the young couple are looking forward to the future.
Now that Liam's been born, my overall feeling is just joy that he's here and he's all fine and everything's fine. Sophie's fine. And that staying up for the night and the feeding and changing, it's nothing compared to what we've got. So yeah, it's been excellent. I'm looking forward to growing up together as a family.